Good morning, students. Am I audible?
Good morning, sir.
Hmm. Good morning. Okay, so can we start? 23 participant. Okay, let's start. Fine. So this is a class of rural water supply and on-site sanitation. So we are in the module 2. Okay. So I'll try to finish the module 2 in today class. Let's see whether it is possible or not. So what about last class? What we have discussed in the last class? Anybody remember what we have discussed in the last class? You can also write in chat box if you remember. Okay, so as far as I remember, we are discussing about that water treatment processes, right? Correct. Slow send filter and rapid send filter, right? So yeah, in the very last class, we were discussing about slow send filter and rapid send filter. I hope it was clear. So if you have any doubt, you can also ask me. Not now, even after class, anytime you can text me. Okay. So let's proceed to the next topic. So in the last class, we were discussing about filtration, right? And before that, last class, we were discussing about entry, that one point of entry and point of use treatment processes. Clear? So after all the processes of water treatment that you already know, starting from screening, then aeration, sedimentation. Okay, that means after going through the whole process, some, even though the water may contain uh, some impurities like pathogenic matters. Okay, then uh, so other impurities like microbes. Okay, or maybe you can say that taste and odor is missing from the water. So that particular thing can be improved by going through another process which is called disinfection. I think this about disinfection also we have already got. Okay, so let me first share my screen, then I'll discuss. My screen is visible. So basically we are going to discuss about disinfection first. Okay, I think it is visual, right? Disinfection. So what is disinfection? Do you have any idea about that? Since you have already got these things in last semester, not all, but at least something at least you should know. What is disinfection? So basically, what is disinfection? Another name for disinfection you can also use like sterilization. Okay, sterilization. I think it is correct or not. I have to check. Sterilization, disinfection, or sterilization. Okay. So what is this? So basically, if I give a basic definition, you will also find in textbooks, or even if you search in Google, you will find out. So what is disinfection? It is basically, it is considered as the most important treatment unit. Okay, disinfection or sterilization is considered to be the most important treatment unit of water. Okay, which is basically directly deal with our health issue. Okay, if you're not, if you're consuming a water which is not disinfected, or it is which is not sterilized, so it may cause a, harmful effect in your body, because it may contain any uh, harmful bacteria, or other microbes. So that's why it's called, the disinfection is considered to be the most important treatment unit on the basis of our health point of view. Okay, and basically it deals with the disinfection or sterilization. It basically deals with the removal of a pathogen. Okay, it mainly deals with removal removal of, स्पेलिंग गलत है, रुको, वो ए होता है ना, सॉरी, removal of pathogen or harmful harmful microbes. Okay, or microorganism, you can say. Okay, sorry, harmful microbes deals with removal of pathogen or harmful microbes from water, from drinking water, you can say. Okay, so this is basically a chemical process. Okay, disinfection, or sometimes can be used as a physical process also. How can the disinfection can be termed as physical? I will going to discuss right now, so don't confuse. So generally it is a chemical process. Okay, so basically uh, the disinfection deals with removal of harmful microbes or pathogen, you can say, from drinking water. Okay, like bacteria, virus, okay, or other microorganism, okay, from water. And the chemical used in the disinfection, okay, chemicals used in disinfection Wait. The chemical used in disinfection is known as what? Is known as disinfectant. Disinfectant. Okay. So basically, this is the thing you have to know first. So what is disinfection? It is considered as the most important treatment unit for drinking water, under which is mainly deals with our health issue. Okay, and it mainly deals with, and it removes pathogen and harmful microbes from drinking water. Okay, and how can we remove these microbes and pathogen? By using some chemicals. That means mixing the water with some chemicals. Okay, now the chemical used in disinfection is known as disinfectant. Okay, now there are many disinfectant can be used as many chemical can be used as disinfectant. Okay, but the main desirable disinfectant, that means how to choose a disinfectant. So before choosing a disinfectant, that means the chemical that going to be used as a disinfectant in disinfection treatment plant, that must be cost effective. Okay, it must be cost effective. Okay, then it must kill the microbes. Okay, that means the efficiency must be high. Efficient efficiency. Okay, that means high efficiency. Cost effective, high efficiency. Okay, high efficiency means in terms of killing the microbes. Okay, high efficiency in terms of killing the microbes. Okay. Next, you can say organic must remove the organic matter. It also included here also high efficiency. Under high efficiency, it include killing the microbes. Then organic input must be reduced. Okay, like you can say organic impurities. Impurities must be reduced. Okay, ऐसे लिख दो. Then any other? Yeah, taste and odor. Okay, odor. You can say the it must reduce odor. Uh, reduce odor. Then particular disinfectant must be easily stored or transport. The particular disinfectant that you are going to use, that must be stored easily. Must be stored easily and transport. You can say easy to store and transport. That's how you can write. Easy to store and transport. Okay. So there are many advantages. Okay, there are many point that you have to uh, consider before choosing a disinfectant. Okay, and one of the most important disinfectant that usually use, that is what? Chlorine. Okay, Cl2. You all know, right? So the process or the disinfection process where the disinfectant used, which is chlorine. That means in a particular disinfection process where chlorine is used as a disinfectant, okay, that particular process is known as what? Anyone? Can you write in the chat box? That's a disinfection process where chlorine is used as a disinfectant. You know, if you use chlorine, then what is the process name?
Chlorination, sir.
Yes, correct. So the process or the disinfection process where chlorine is used as a chlorine is used as a disinfectant, that is called chlorination. Okay. Rather than using chlorine, the other disinfectant, if you want to know in additional information, that, like, if you want to know about physical disinfection method, it include like boiling. Okay, if you boil water, somehow you can to some extent you can kill the microbes, just boiling water. But boiling water is not that enough. Okay, but some microbes, some pathogen microbes or harmful organism cannot be removed just only boiling. Okay, for that you have to go in deeper um, process, like using chemicals like chlorine. Okay, so under physical, you can consider boiling the water, or you can also consider UV rays. Okay, even any treatment plant, that treatment instrument or apparatus that is fixed in your home, it's also included that this disinfectant method which is used UV rays. Okay, that UV ray, it basically try to kill as pathogen. Okay, and it is used for small scale treatment plant like the water treatment or aquaguard, you can say water purifying system. Okay, and if I say that chemical method of disinfection, under chemical method you can consider utilizing ozone. Okay, that is O3. Utilizing ozone, ozone can also kill the microbes and organic matter by oxidation. Okay, but production of ozone is very costly. Okay, so under this, okay, okay, before let's write down here physical disinfection. Okay, under physical method of disinfection. So under this you can consider boiling or UV rays. Okay, under chemical method of disinfection, you can consider was in chemical method you use chemicals. Okay, uh, for it can be used for oxidation. Okay, so you can use ozone. Basically, it is what O3. Sorry, O3. Okay, but ozone is also effective. Okay, if you use a chemical as like ozone, so it can kill microbes and organic matter. Okay, fine. But the production of ozone is very costly, so that's why the whole treatment process become very costly. So basically, for it is usually it is not used because of the cost purpose. Okay, then you can also use iodine and bromine. iodine Iodine and bromine, clear. This is also used for small scale, can be used. Okay, then potassium permanganate, sorry, potassium, spelling somehow may got mistake. Okay, please, if you got any spelling mistake, please inform me. Potassium permanganate. You can also find the chemical formula for this. It is actually KMnO4. Okay, I'll write here. KMnO4. KMnO4. It is a potassium permanganate. Okay, this is very important from your competitive exam point of view. Okay, somehow it may ask about it. Potassium permanganate can be used as a, in which uh, treatment plan? It is under disinfection. Okay, so like that. So potassium permanganate can be used. Basically, it's a pink color. Okay. So basically this potassium permanganate can be used in well water, especially in village area. Potassium permanganate can be used since the it just directly uh, mixed with the well water can be, and it can purify. Okay, so potassium permanganate can be used in even in the rural areas. The cost is very low. Okay, potassium permanganate. Oh, here Y is gonna be there. Okay, then another one is your copper and silver. Copper and just first write copper and silver. So basically I'll write the together here the formula, that is Cu and Ag, silver, copper and silver. I think you also heard now that in um ancient time uh, people used to drink water in a copper glass like that. You heard this term, right? So basically there is a science because it disinfected microbes. Okay, it is at that time it was available too much. Okay, that's why they have used, but there is also an advantage of using that particular copper and silver as a container of water because it also remove the microbes. Okay, there because of the chemical reaction between the microbes and the copper and silver. Okay, so basically these all are disinfectant. Okay, under chemical process. Then we can go for this chlorination. Chlorination is also used as a chemical. It is also under chemical process. Okay, so here we can also use uh, chlorine. Chlorine. Okay, so under chemical, the most important the chemical that under chemical method of disinfection is your chlorine. Okay, now how chlorine is so effective in killing the pathogen or harmful microbes? So basically, if you want to know the basic idea about chlorination, it basically kill the microbes. How can it kill the microbes? By using its free chlorine. Okay, I'll show you what chlorine do actually. Okay, we'll discuss about this bamboo circle after some time. I think somewhere here. Yeah, here you can see. So basically, okay, first of all, chlorine can be used as a in gaseous form. It can be used in the liquid form also. Okay. Anyway, so if you go for adding chlorine in water, okay, this how the reaction comes up. Okay, so it forms first hydrochloric acid and basically HCl. You can also write in H plus Cl or directly you can write HCl. Okay, hydrochloric acid. Fine. That when if chlorine reacts with water and it result this. Again, this HOCl, hypochlorous acid, it breaks down into H plus ion and OCl minus ion. It should be H plus. Here it should be plus. Okay, I'll write here. Okay. So this it is actually H plus and OCl minus. Okay, so basically this OCl minus and chlorine also, and this HOCl, this after mixing the chlorine in the form of gas or liquid in water, it produce this hypochlorous acid, HOCl, and OCl minus and H plus. Okay, and this and HOCl and OCl minus and chlorine, these three are also considered as oxidizing agent, and also known is also available as a free chlorine, freely available chlorine, and they were also known as free chlorine. Okay, so all the other microbes or impurities like nitrogen containing compound like NH3, okay, then phenolic compound, other harmful microbes, organic matters, all these component impurities can be uh, removed by this free chlorine. Like it reacts with chlorine, it reacts with HOCl, it can be react with OCl minus, like that. So this, using this free chlorine, you can disinfectant a water. Disinfectant means it can remove all the harmful impurities from water. You can kill. Kill means it can convert in different form. Okay, like nitrogen compound like NH3, if it react with chlorine, then it produce chlorium. Okay, like that there are different chemical reaction may go on. I don't want to go in deeper in chemical reaction. Okay, for now you just have to know about that, what is the uh, basic reaction of chlorine with water. It produces hypochlorous acid, and after hypochloric acid it breaks down into OCl minus and H plus ion, and they are freely available in water after adding chlorine gas or liquid. Okay, okay, fine. So when it comes to addition of chlorine in water, or you can say in terms of chlorination, there are different types of chlorination can be done. Till now you all already know this thing, that chlorination is what? Chlorination is a kind of disinfection method, which is under chemical method of disinfection. It is used to kill microbes, pathogen, harmful microorganism or organic matter, and etc. Fine. And chlorination can be divided under different form. And that means on what purpose, on in what point of treatment point, at what time of treatment you are using chlorine. Based on that, chlorination can be divided in different approach. Okay. So first approach is what? There are numbers of approach. Okay, I think these things also you have got these things anyway. So I'll write from here. Okay, like that. Yeah. So first you are suppose plain chlorination, plain chlorination. Okay. So what is basically plain chlorination? So when chlorine is added into a plane of water in a tank or reservoir, it's known as plain chlorination. That means on a stored water, that means this water may be stored in a reservoir or a tank in a particular stage. If you add chlorine for chlorination purpose, it is called plain chlorination. Okay, and the amount of chlorine required is basically zero point 0.5 ppm. Okay, 0.5 ppm. You can also cross check. Or 0 oh wait 0.5 ppm. Okay, this is the amount of chlorine required is 0.5 ppm part per million. Okay, And this plain chlorination basically used when water turbidity is less than 20 to 30 ppm. Okay, I'll give the information about this in your WhatsApp group, don't worry. Okay, and also you can go through this recording class for information. So plain chlorination is what? Basically it is done in a water, in a stored water. Okay, the water can be stored in reservoir or tank, and basically it is used in the form of, in the amount of 0.5 ppm part per million, and basically it is used for a particular water having turbidity less than 20 to 30 ppm. Okay, next you can say after plain chlorination, the another one is there, that is your pre-chlorination. Okay, pre-chlorination, pre-chlorination. So basically what is pre means what? Pre for previous, right? Previous means from this point of view also you will get have an idea that previously whatever chlorine is used, that is your pre-chlorination. Previously means before the treatment, or before the traditional treatment plant unit. If you use chlorine, that is your pre-chlorination. So where chlorine is added to water before any treatment is known as pre-chlorination. Before any treatment, that means your before any treatment means what? Um, Basically chlorine is used what? In disinfection, right? Disinfection process, under disinfection process, chlorine is used as a disinfectant. But before disinfection, that means in the process of sedimentation, in the process of flocculation and coagulation, in that process if you are using chlorine, okay, that means that particular addition of chlorine is called pre-chlorination. But question will arise, why we need a, addition of chlorine before the disinfection? That means when your water is so impure, if the presence of bacteria, if the presence of pathogenic matters, if the presence of organic matter, or overall you can say if the presence of impurities is so high, the load of the impurities is if very high, then to reduce the load of the treatment plan, that means the traditional treatment plan like filtration, before that sedimentation, coagulation and flocculation, then filtration. In that process, to reduce the load of the impurities, you can use chlorine also before disinfection, and that is called pre-chlorination. Okay, and the amount of chlorine in the stage it is used 0.2 to 0.5 ppm. Okay, that means if the water contains high amount of bacteria, high amount of organic matter, high amount of impurities, then you can use chlorine before disinfection method. That means in the traditional treatment process. That means in the sedimentation, in the um, flocculation and coagulation process. Then you can also use infiltration. Okay, like that, to reduce the load of the impurities in water. Fine. So this is called your pre-chlorination. Then another one is your post-chlorination. Post post-chlorination. Okay. So basically, this is this post-chlorination. Basically, it is added after all the treatment plan. Okay, that means the added of chlorine after all the treatment being applied to water is known as post chlorination. Even after disinfection process, even also then to suppose some microbes still be there, active there, you can use the chlorination process also. Okay, that means it will be your post chlorination. Fine, and the iteration will be the addition of this one will be like 0.2 ppm. 0.2. Next, another one is your double chlorination. So basically, a post chlorination is the standard chlorination. You can say whatever post chlorination means disinfection method. As you know, disinfection method is done after all the treatment process. So we can say that usually we go for post chlorination. Okay, after the treatment of water we go for disinfection. That is your adding chlorine. That is your post chlorination basically. Okay. So next, fourth number, your double chlorination. Double chlorination. So even in the name also you will understand double means what it contain pre-chlorination as well as post-chlorination. That means if you add chlorine before the treatment or before the disinfection and also after the treatment, that means if two times you are using uh, chlorine. This is called your double chlorination. When chlorine is added to water at more than 1 point, it's called double chlorination. Simple as that. Okay. So basically, it is used when the water is high, which means highly turbid. Okay, that means if the water is highly turbid and contamination is very high, used for highly turbid. I don't. Oh, sorry, turbid water. Okay, highly turbid water. Fine. Next, after that, you can go for superchlorination also. Superchlorination is one of that process. What is superchlorination? In superchlorination, the amount of chlorine is used. That means the amount of chlorine used in a particular chlorination is very high. Okay, when chlorine is added in excess of the required for adequate bacteria purification of water, that particular purification of water is called superchlorination. If your dose of water, if the high dose of chlorine, I write here, high dose of chlorine is used. Okay, high dose of chlorine is used. And why we need high dose of chlorine in what condition we use go for this? If you want to purify water in quicker time, if you want continuous purification of water or continuous disinfection of water regularly, if you need the water regularly a disinfectant, then you can go for superchlorination. Do you have any example where superchlorination can be used? Anyone? So basically superchlorination is what? Here high dose of chlorine is used so that the removal of microbes and organic matter or other impurities can be removed in a short time. And in which water a regular disinfection can is required? Do you know? That is your what? Swimming pool. Okay. So swimming pool water must be disinfected regularly and within a short time. So you can also go for adding super high dose of chlorine in swimming pool water so that it can disinfect it. Okay. But there is a drawback also. You cannot directly go for swimming when the chlorination is going on. Okay. So it requires some time. Fine. Otherwise, it will give your skin disease for that chlorine may affect in your skin. So anyway, the swimming pool water can be disinfected or can be no, purified by superchlorination by giving high dose of chlorine. Okay. So like this, they are kind of a type of chlorination. Okay, so this is I think we don't have much time for this class, so we will not able to complete the whole second module in this class. We need again another class for this. Okay, so anyway, so this is all about today class. So we have discussed about, basically we have discussed about disinfection of water. What is disinfection? We have discussed, and how can we go for disinfection? Okay, and physical disinfection method, chemical disinfection method. Okay, and the main one is we have discussed about here, the chlorination. Fine. Basically, chlorine can be used as a disinfectant so effectively it provides available free chlorine in water, which react with organic matter, then phenolic compounds, then nitrogen compound, okay, microbes, impurities, and they kill all the bacteria. Okay, it's so effective as a disinfectant. Clear? We also discuss about different chemical which can be used as a chemical disinfectant, like ozone, iodine, bromine, potassium permanganate, copper, silver. Okay, like that. So I think this is clear to you. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me. If you don't have any doubt, then just I'll close this sharing. So you can also go through this notes. Okay, I'll share this. What is water chlorination? Additional information will be here in the notes. Okay, that means how a chlorine can kill a microbes. How can chlorine can kill a microbes? Chlorine inactive the microorganism by damaging its cell membranes. Once the cell membranes is weakened, the chlorine can enter the cell and disturb the cell replication or DNA activity. Well, these things are also given in the notes. You can also go through this. But the basic thing we have already discussed. Okay, like what is chlorination? We have discussed. Pre-chlorination also we discussed. Okay. In addition to pre-chlorination, we have also discussed our post-chlorination, double chlorination, super chlorination, which is also important from exam point of view. Okay. So in the next class, which is we'll consider will then as a last class of the second module, we're going to discuss about low-cost water treatment in rural areas, like using bamboo, charcoal, then solar sterilization, using sunlight, or removal of iron and manganese. All these things we will discuss in the next class. Okay. So let's stop my sharing now. Is it clear now? I hope it is
Yes,
clear.
sir. Yes, sir.
It may require little knowledge about chemistry, okay? Little about. But don't worry, you don't need too much about chemistry, just to understand. For better understanding, if you want to know better understanding, so you can go for the reaction, how chemical this chlorine react with water, how that free chlorine can kill the other impurities. You can also go through check on this. Okay. But in detail, the chemistry is not a non needed here anyway. So I'll just stop my recording here. It is also already covered. Then I'll take your attendance. Fine.